Greetings. Damn, y'all was already in here. Well, I'll be damned. Share the live. Let's get in there. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. One time. Y'all share the live stream. Good evening, everybody. Hold on. Trying to get my dribble right. Newark. Boom, 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 boom. Trying to make sure I can get my little nits on the table. Good evening, everybody. Y'all share the live as y'all come in. I know I'm a little late, but I had to investigate. Y'all know how that goes. HP, what up? Boom, boom, boom. Peace. King Jah. London. www.therealdribble.com. All right. We ain't got to wait no further. A lot has transpired in the last not even 24 hours in regards to this J Hood interview on Math Hoffa's expert opinion, him and Shaheem. I had to go back and watch it again. In fact, the full-length interview was released today, this afternoon, and I went and watched that. I watched the 9-minute joint again as well. I didn't see or hear anything that came out of J Hood that would have been, I don't know, offensive or anything like that. I have to go back and watch it again. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about it. Good evening, everybody. He said, trust. He said, they don't know. Boston. Clearly Me says, I believe J Hood. I believe a lot of what J Hood said as well. He didn't seem like he had any malice, and he always reverted back to saying, I was kind of young. You know when you're young. I was he kept going back to that, and I believe that had a lot to do with some of his decisions. Listening to the interview, one of the questions that Math Hoffa asked was about the cover of the Source magazine, and the way I received it was J Hood's rebuttal was, it wasn't so much a rebuttal. He was just kind of like detailing everything that went down and shit. I'm gonna get to the 60,000. He was kind of like detailing everything that went down. I didn't see him. It didn't seem like he was trying to poke at them or anything like that. We've watched everything that transpired with J Hood and D Block. It's been a long time. Math Hoffa's expert opinion is a popping podcast right now, probably the top that does this as far as what we concerned with, the stuff that's informative to us, what we find riveting. Styles P seems to be a little bit upset, and one of the things that he said was Math Hoffa could have called him and fact-checked some of the things the Hood said. I got two things to say about that. Number one, obviously Styles and Math might have had some line of communication, a number or something like that, where they could have spoke on. Number two, ain't nobody gonna call y'all, man, to ask for no clearance for no interviews. A person ain't gonna do that. You can't expect Math Hoffa to do that. You can't expect him to do that, or anybody with any platform for that matter. The proper way of doing it is let a person have a platform, share their truth, what they call their truth, and if Styles want to offer a rebuttal, he can do that. He did eventually. Ultimately, he offered a rebuttal. I uploaded it to this channel. J Hood, in my opinion, this is my personal opinion. This is Gully's expert opinion. I believe J Hood was in a fortunate situation. I do. had he not been so young, maybe had he had a little bit more guidance, he could have been a little bit patient in regards to that Source magazine cover. This is my everything on that whole topic. D Block, I mean, J Hood was saying that he was a part of establishing, the D Block wave, whatever. Okay. The magazine title apparently says something about D Block, but it was going to depict the three members of the Locks. I guess J Hood wasn't comfortable with that. My opinion is this: if the three members of the Locks is on the front of the magazine and the article is called D Block, maybe when they open up the magazine and go to the article, you'll find J Hood and Bucky and all of these guys and all of the things that's happening under the D Block umbrella. I think he made a rush to judgment as far as, I don't know if he wiggled the boat back then, but just in general to desire that. I would have just been glad to have been in the building, man, knowing that my time was coming. The J Hood Tales from the Hood thing, it did seem like forever. It did seem like forever. It kept going on and on and on. It used to be on the end of all mixtapes. J Hood Tales from the Hood coming soon. You heard that on all kind of mixtapes for years and years and years. You like, God damn, like, when is it coming? Is it coming? Did it ever come? Like, I don't even know if it ever came. But it was often spoken of as far as coming soon. Excuse me. Doggy Diamond said J Hood's story is consistent from 15 years ago. I interviewed J Hood twice. I just interviewed him a few days ago. Him and Shaheem got a video out called Get Back. And I interviewed him last year about basketball. Both times that I interviewed him, I chose not to fuck with that D Block thing. This most recent interview, I asked him, was he comfortable with performing his material that he did with D Block and shit like that. And he said for a long time he didn't want to, or he had a problem with it. But as he's gotten older, he know that that's something that he created and he should rock it. Something that Styles said that hit hard was, he said something in regards to, what have you done after us? That remains to be seen. The J Hood chapter is still open. The 60,000 part, the 60,000. Very, very sensitive time. Very sensitive time. His mom's house had just burned down. According to the interview, 60,000 was given by a record label. I think it was Koch, or whatever record label they was on. Somebody at the label offered 60,000 to the situation. He ain't get none. He said he didn't get any of that. That's kind of fucked up to hear in retrospect. I don't know what their plans was with that 60,000, but if it was allocated for him, you could at least gave him half. God damn, like that was crazy. And if that's what happened, he said he got 25K. I'm talking about a gift that was given. You obviously didn't watch the rest of the interview. He said that a gift was given by some people at the record label that they were employed by at the time to help the situation. And he said that paper didn't get to him the right way. And apparently Sheik Luch and a DJ of somebody may have had his power of attorney rights because he was probably young and shit. He said skimming happens. He said Sheik took that. I love the Locks, but J Hood had a lot of momentum in the early 2000s. They definitely dropped the ball. He said Sheik took that. Two sides to every story. Peace. He said they schooled Super Mario. Right. He said they screwed that kid around. Sheik is grimy if he took 60K. Locks was raking it in at the time. They wasn't always raking it in. They wasn't always raking it in. The Locks had like 3 lives, in my opinion, in hip hop. The first was when he came in with, Bad Boy, We Love Big Papa, Not to Be Fucked With. They're Bad Boy shit, right? But because they was wearing the shiny suits, the shiny suits, and if you think I'm jiggy, and I guess they, I don't know. Maybe they felt that they didn't establish their proper impression in an era where there was Queensbridge dominance and Wu-Tang and Mobb Deep and all of this, and they got caught up briefly with the shiny suits. All right, so boom, that happened. This is how I remember it. I remember D Block becoming a big deal, as a mixtape force. And it's funny that I said D Block and not the Locks, because the D Block thing probably was the D Block thing bigger than the Locks? Let's see if we can get some opinions on that. Was the D Block thing bigger than the Locks? He said, hell yes. Yes, it was. He said, for a minute it was. Yes, yeah. My man said D Block was bigger than the Locks. He said at the time, yes. I think D Block was bigger than the Locks. The D Block ball of energy, the whole Team Arliss and just everybody that was around them. It got really, really big on the mixtapes. It did. I remember in my this just around the people that I was around, Sheek Louch was kind of like known as the weak link in the Locks. He was known as the weak link, and he was known as the businessman. That's something that J Hood confirmed today, that D Block was kind of Sheek Louch's business venture, the record label, whatever. But he was kind of like a weak link. So what you have is Styles and Jada going against Team Arliss, Large Amount, and all these other Bucky, and it's just a whole gang of them. But I think that the D Block part of the story was probably bigger than the Locks. I'm keeping it real. What's the name said it itself? Jadakiss. He said X was raking in the moolah. He said it. I just remember I went to jail in 99. I went to jail in 99. I was in jail in 99, right? And I remember at that time the Locks was a non-factor. They was a non-factor. I'm not bullshitting. And I went to jail, and I wasn't there long. And when I came back, they was popping in my neighborhood. They was like saying that, these niggas was the hardest out, and this is the We Are the Streets era, I believe. Is We Are the Streets like 99, 2000? Is it like 2000 or something like that? Holiday Style. I can get you shot in the head and shot in the neck if I ain't get proper respect. This is when people started to say, this is when they became a factor. But before that, they wasn't. But yeah. So I came home and they was big in my neighborhood. Niggas was talking about hawks and shit, carrying the fucking hawks and wearing white t-shirts and a bunch of other shit. That I believe that was all associated with D Block and the mixtapes. That's what I believe. But it probably started with We Are the Streets. He said D Block was definitely a movement. Definitely. Um, should he be? Does he have a right to be mad after all this time? I wouldn't. Especially when he has talent. You just seen he dropped a video with Shaheem called Get Back Hood. All you got to do is just drop. The title of this video was Did I Believe J Hood? I believe the things that he was saying. I believe the things that he was saying. As far as that 60,000 though, if somebody gave a check to me for 60 for fire, I'm gonna probably establish in my mind that they didn't have $60,000 worth of shit in the house. He probably could get half. I wouldn't have kept all of that shit. What I would have probably kept some if they wrote it in my name. Probably would have kept a dime or something. They shouldn't have kept it all. 10 go to the label, 10 or 20 go to the label, and just could have gave him 40 and shit and kept the dub and shit. He would have been cool with that. He'd have been cool with that. But if it was he said he was a kid, that was grimy. Man, when shit like that happens, when that 60,000 come out of the woodwork, all of a sudden the record label wants to recoup. They want to recoup. That's what happened to that 60. It recouped. All of the weed he was smoking. Just any, the same shit that Puff did to them. They probably didn't know anything else. The same shit that Puff did to them. Got to pay for all of this shit. And before you know it. But unfortunate. You can't be mad at the niggas that got the platforms, though. Styles said that he felt that Math Hoffa could have called him and fact-checked. That's just totally ridiculous. I was in the same situation. This is why I feel that you damned if you do and you damned if you don't about the fact check part. I'm gonna tell you why. I interviewed Sherm the Worm, right? Prior to interviewing Sherm the Worm, I covered Prodigy's funeral. At Prodigy's funeral, I met the remaining Mobb Deep squad except for Havoc. I ended up meeting Havoc later, but I met them all, right? Boom. Month or 2, 3 months, maybe 3, 4 months after, the Sherm the Worm situation come up. This is my job. I got to interview him. Sherm the Worm was mentioned in Prodigy's book, My Infamous Life. I have to interview him. This is a big one. Nobody got it. This interview ended up shaking up the industry, by the way. When I do the interview, Sherm the Worm says that he puts a pistol in Godfather from Mobb Deep's mouth. I just met this nigga. I just met him. I have his phone number, right? Sherm the Worm said that he put a pistol in his mouth. Called him Lionel by his name and everything. Said he grew up with him and a bunch of other shit. When I got done with the interview, I knew this interview was going to create some problems. The problems wasn't going to be for me. I called Godfather from Mobb Deep. I said, yo, check this out. I said, I just interviewed Sherm the Worm, right? Sherm said he put a pistol in your mouth and mangled you and he did this and a bunch of other shit, right? Probably a lot of the shit that was, I don't think Prodigy would write about that in the book, but I said, Sherm said he put a pistol in your mouth, fam. The interview was about to come out. I said, if you want, we can get on right now and you can give the rebuttal on what really happened between you and Sherm. He said, nah, it's cool. I put the interview out. Sherm tell the whole world, it's still on my channel, tell the whole world that he think he put a pistol in his mouth. Tell everybody that. The nigga get mad with me. The nigga get mad with me. So it don't matter if you call these niggas. It don't matter if you call these niggas or not. He ended up getting mad with me anyway. What's going to happen if you call these niggas, you know what they're going to tell you? They gonna tell you to erase your hard earned, your hard work production. like you didn't do anything, like you didn't put no hours into that, you didn't put no man hours into editing it, establishing or nothing. They gonna just, because that's how they feel about people on this side of the camera. So as far as that goes, Math, do what you do. Do what you do, because it's gonna be some niggas mad at you anyway. So you might as well keep on doing what you're doing. My man said Mace got 5, yo. Maybe everybody that Puff got, they turn around and rip somebody else. I don't know. I'm not accusing anybody, but the shit that J Hood said, he didn't seem to have no malice in that chair. He was just telling his story. They got a cliche out right now where they say someone's sharing their truth. Apparently that was his side of the story, but explain the 60,000 that was stole from Homeboy and shit. He said they owe him 60. Styles said they don't owe him shit. He said J Hood is a talented dude. He was young, probably. The part about dragging the chain and the footage getting into the internet, I don't know about that. I don't know about that part, man. Just a bad look, and that's the damaging part that they ain't gonna probably never forgive Hood for and shit. But at this point, he shouldn't be looking for forgiveness. He a grown-ass man. It's been a long time. He got talent. He got other talents besides rap. I think Hood is an artist. He might paint or something like that. But you live and you learn. But in totality, I believe what he said. I didn't expect it to turn into all of this, what it's turned into now. Styles making a video, Math making a 30-minute rebuttal. He said Hood got to let it go. I don't think Hood went on Math Hoffa to do that, to poke at the locks, because he's never won at that. That's never worked out good for him. So I don't think at this point, when there's been peace for years, that he went there to poke at them. I believe that you can conduct a J Hood interview without asking about the locks. It ain't gonna be no good though. The good part of the story is about the locks. The locks has to be included. Styles P, Jada, they're a part of his story. But for him to come on Math Hoffa in 2022 and share from his mouth what happened, I'm cool with it. I think everybody. I thought the interview was good. J Love, his name was J Love. He credited Styles on camera with giving him his name, J Hood. But I don't think he went up there to fuck with them. I don't. He said he just went up there and that's his story. That's how it sounded to me. He was a young nigga, man. He was a young boy. You know what I'm saying? If he could have, that Tales from the Hood shit was taking forever. But if he could have just been patient, man, it's something that I learned was the way the cookie crumbled is the way it's supposed to go. Everything that happened with D Block and J Hood, it was supposed to go that way because it happened. You feel me? It wasn't supposed to. It wasn't supposed to be 4D. It's supposed to be a trio. So that's what happened. So, more power to J Hood. He's still here. He still got talent, still got breath in his body. He can offer some more contributions to hip hop. Obviously, he still got, he put out the video with Shaheem on his own channel the other day, and it did 21,000 in the first day. Scoob TV said we can't name a notable J Hood song. J Hood was never established as a mainstream artist. People identify him as one of the guys from the glory years of the mixtapes. There was dudes that didn't transition from the mixtapes that was really, really good that you only heard on mixtapes, but they kind of didn't go, like Team Arliss. Team Arliss is one of the greatest East Coast hip-hop duos of all time, but it just happened that way. You feel me? If you know about him, you know, and you got to shout out to Trav and Straw. If you knew about it, you got it. If you didn't, you know, you can go look it up when you get up off of here. He said, oh yeah, Doggy Diamonds took that video of Bully down. I'm going to ask him why. He said Team Arliss was nasty. Yes, they was. None of them had major mainstream success. The Lox almost didn't have mainstream success. I think Why with Anthony Hamilton, Locked Up with Akon, those songs kind of punched the Lox through it punched them through. But before that, they was kind of in the same boat with the greatest of the mixtape guys and shit. You know what I'm saying? I Get High. There's songs that they put out that worked for them. He said I banged with Team Arliss. Dudes that never made it from mistakes. Ransom and Hitchcock. Ollie Vegas was another rapper that never got the pop. J Hood definitely brought a spark for the Lox. I believe so. I know his name was ringing like a motherfucker, like with young niggas in the streets. They was talking about J Hood a lot until the rest of them dudes got popular. The DVD circuit was responsible for the rest of those guys becoming popular because they wasn't in the magazines. J Hood was in magazines and shit like that, but the rest of them niggas, Large Amount, Team Arliss, you seen what them niggas look like on DVDs and shit. Did nobody know what them niggas look like? He said the Lox is more like an underground hood rap group, in my opinion. J Hood had the mixtapes on lock. He was torching everything around that time. J Hood was ringing during the mixtape era. Hood definitely did add spark to the Lox. J Hood ran the Jordan Tower. All of them was working with Jordan Tower at the time. He said Bully was on Court TV. J Hood wanted to ride the last wave the Lox is on, getting his name back out. One thing for sure, two things for certain. His name is blistering hot right now, and he just happened to have a video out that's doing really well. I would capitalize on this. The Lox don't really rap all like that no more, man. Them niggas is established legends and businessmen and shit like that. Probably live off of residuals and shit like that, but Hood, he still got work to do and shit, and he's been given a great springboard for people who don't know about him. The video that he uploaded, Get Back, fire, getting a great response. He said the Lox making juices and shit. He said, why do people underestimate the Lox? Man, the Lox was like, the way it looked and sounded was like some hungry ass niggas with bars that the big homies had on their albums. What I mean by the big homies, DMX and Jay-Z. You feel me? They had some good dope ass songs together, and the Lox really like let their nuts hang on that shit with them niggas, with them big dogs and shit. But to me, they were always, don't shoot me, they was always under Hove, Nas, and certain people. They just was never bigger than them to me. They weren't. The Queensbridge guys, even 50 Cent, when they was battling 50 Cent, that shit wasn't like affecting 50 Cent, yo. Like, and it was fire, but it wasn't doing nothing and shit. Like, it was like, He said, pit bulls from YO. He said, yeah. He said, never bigger than Mobb Deep either. Never, never, none of them, none of them. Never bigger than none of the people that we naming. But respected like a motherfucking shit. He said, facts, Gully dudes think D-Block did something for 50. Nah, it was just rap. Styles P is about juice bars. Sheik Luch is managing different properties. Kiss is the goat of the locks. My man said the locks are regional. They was never big as Rockefeller, yo. They wasn't. They was never big as the Diplomats either. Don't shoot me. Even though they beat the Diplomats in a battle, they was never bigger than the Diplomats in New York City. They was never bigger than the Diplomats, period. They weren't. 50 Cent made the locks bigger with that battle. You kidding me? He said, besides the money, 50 never really answered them back. Do you think the New York song helped Kiss more than Ja? Whose song was that? That was Ja Rule's song, right? Nah, it helped Ja Rule. He had fucking Fat Joe and Kiss on there. It helped Ja Rule. 50 was pissed about that shit. He said that was Ja's song. Yeah, that's what I thought. It was Fat Joe's song, then he gave it to Ja. Not a lot. He said Jada been having solo success way before Y. Not really like commercial success. I'm telling you. My man said Mobb Deep would have watched the locks in the verses. The locks drama with Puff held them back more than anything. Six McMafia says the biggest thing that happened to the locks nationwide was beating the Dips. Woo! Woo! That brings me back to me saying the locks had 3 lives. They had when they was big with Biggie with the shiny suits, and then they went to D Block, and then the verses when they beat the Dipset. That's the 3rd life for the locks. But I'm just here to share the truth with y'all, man, and I happen to keep it Gully at all times. So he said Black Ground Facts. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell. He said they only won because the Dips wasn't prepared. He said that's a damn lie. Shit. That versus battle. That versus battle was the biggest night in Locks history, yo. That versus battle was the biggest night in Locks history, man. I'm telling you. The Locks still know how to perform on stage. I seen them in concert. They fire. Tear that shit up. He said you had to be there. He said Cameron didn't care. It put a new polish on the locks. He said they killed them. Math Hoffa knew exactly what he was doing asking Hood about the locks, but not asking Styles about the Hood situation. On the same week, Mav trying to be Vlad so bad. I don't think he would have the nuts to ask Styles P in an interview a J Hood question because he know what's going to come out of his mouth. It's going to be sarcasm or it's going to be something nasty. It's not going to be nothing positive. It's going to be a bunch of, and Mav knew not to fuck with him about J Hood. Interviewing J Hood without asking him something about the locks. it wouldn't be the same thing. If Math Hoffa put out an interview with J Hood and didn't ask anything about the locks, people would have said immediately, it's a bullshit interview. You know you're supposed to ask him about the locks. We don't want to fucking see this shit. That's the truth. He said Hood wasn't lying about that 60 bands. Mass stirring shit up, but that equates to dollars for everyone at the end of the day. I think this is gonna equate to dollars for everybody. This is engagement season. Christmas, New Year's, the holiday season, especially Christmas and New Year's and shit like that. Everybody is at home with their families watching college football and watching YouTube and shit all day, eating and shit all day. So the engagement and the clicks is off the charts. He definitely brought some food to the internet. He definitely brought some food to the internet. Everybody's talking about it, but I think the 60,000 and the fact that the locks, who probably they in a big homie situation, the big homies don't be wanting people to know that they be doing niggas wrong. They don't be wanting people to know. They don't be wanting people to know the shit that they be doing to people, man. You know, that's just the truth. I got to side with J Hood. He probably went about it wrong, but hey, he said they should pay that man. He should have went and got his own payment by now, man. It's been a long time. Like the video, it's 1,000 people here. He said, Gully, I heard the same story. He says Styles knows it too. He made another live with promo codes to his website. Yep. He says, since when did it become cool to be mad at the podcast guy? Most of these niggas that do that, they done did it to me. If you speaking, favorably of them, they cool with it. If all of the coverage is favorable, they cool with it. But if somebody say something negative, like if somebody get on here and say something, they might feel some type of way about me having it on my platform if we knew each other. But niggas know, fam, I operate like this. If I record it, I'm uploading it. And if there's something that you don't like, you will be presented with the same opportunity to record and rebuttal and clarify whatever the fuck happened. That's why it's called content. We can continue to create. So he said they justified the theft by saying they were recouping advances that they already made to them. I already said that. They said that it was recouping. All record labels do that. The same shit the Puff was doing to them, they did to J Hood. That 60K could help him a lot, maybe. Could have got things to help him through this 20 years. The 60K was given to help his mother get to remedy his mother's situation. Her house burned down. Sam W. If the locks invested in the J Hood, that 60K was repayment. Simple business. It wasn't given to them though, Sam, and it was given to them. It was given to them under emergency pretenses as a remedy. His mother should have been given something. They shouldn't have kept all of it. That don't make no sense. That says a lot about their character. If his crib burnt down, if y'all liked him, cared about him, had any type of relationship with him, and the crib burnt down, you would have tried to throw something. Y'all pocketed the whole 60. That's just creep shit. That's low life shit. If the locks could have been with Rough Rider from the start, no Puff, I think they would have been bigger than what they are today. He said, yeah, they snatched his mom relief money. Thank God Math ain't scared. Nah, we know Math history, not scared. He hopped right to it about that. Niggas crack me up when they get to saying internet shit. All of this shit transpire on the internet. This is the playing field and shit. This is where it go down at. Niggas get a distaste in their mouth and they start saying on the net, on the net, on the. This is where it started at. You think there any truth to J Hood's story? I believe probably everything J Hood said. You know why? Because J Hood said shit that showed his fault. It showed that he was impatient. You feel me? It showed that he was impatient. He shouldn't have dragged them niggas' chain. He shouldn't have did that. J Hill was in a fortunate situation. The Locks, you know what I mean? A rap group that was solidified and, you know, in a position, took him in and gave, his name was J Love, gave him a name, shaped him, put it, I would have tried to stand in there. I would have still been there. I would have still been down, man. I'd have still been down. Fuck that. Fuck the cover of the source, man. Fuck the cover of the source. Hood was mad about that cover of the source, according to the interview anyway. Dre was good. He said, I would still been down. That wasn't enough to, he said it was a combination of a lot of things that started to build up. He said, yeah, he gave up too soon. He did. He said, Juelz still making Dipset money. They gave bro a spotlight. Yeah, they put him in a game. I died when I heard J Hood got hand-me-downs from Kiss. You mean that they was giving him clothes? You mean that they was giving him clothes? I want to clarify this. When you say hand-me-downs, you said that they was giving him clothes? Fam, did they say that they was giving him clothes? I'd have been glad to get that shit. I'd have been glad to get that shit. I'd have been glad to get that shit. You getting a sweatshirt from a Raekwon just took the Snow Beach off and gave it to you. You ain't happy to get that shit? I don't understand, man. Ain't nothing wrong with hand-me-downs, yo. Ain't nothing wrong with quality hand-me-downs, yo. Y'all bugging. There's some hand-me-downs on this wall. I'm serious. Like 3 or 4 of them jerseys on this wall is from the when niggas was wearing them big ass jersey era. Niggas sent them to me like, yo, I got these ridiculously big jerseys, man. Nobody wear these shits anymore. They like bed sheets. You want them? And I put them on the wall and shit. Good hand-me-downs. Skibo Debo, he weighed a lot more than me. He gave me my first pair of Robin jeans. He did. He couldn't fit them anymore. Gave them to me. I wore them. My player homie gave me some jeans he couldn't fit anymore. They was brand new. I don't understand what's wrong with hand-me-downs. You gotta, it depends on who handing it down to you and shit. If it's quality shit, y'all too Hollywood, man. Y'all too Hollywood, man. Y'all don't take fucking hand-me-downs. Y'all bugging, man. Hood didn't think like you, though. He had no foresight. Thought he was entitled to blowing up. He said, how do Freaky Zeke drop an album before J Hood? I got no rebuttal. That Freaky Zeke project was terrible. Every song Freaky Zeke appeared on was terrible. He said, that's the problem. People trying to help you and you think they dissing you and shit. I can't believe y'all laughing at the hand-me-downs. I got an older brother and shit. My brother used to have bags of hand-me-downs to pass off. I got to screen this shit first. Man, let me see what's in this bag. Fuck is you doing? Because it's my brother. I'm entitled to the shit first. Man, let me get this up out of here, man. What you doing with this, man? Man, you bugging. What's wrong with y'all? You could tell y'all wasn't brought up in love, man. Y'all too Hollywood, man. Y'all undermining the effectiveness of a good hand-me-down. Y'all bugging. He said, grew up catching the hand-me-downs. Word. Man, if you had an older cousin, I got my first starter jacket. Think my first 2 starter jackets. I ain't lying. My first starter jacket was a New York Giants hand-me-down. My older brother gave it to me. It was big. I didn't give a fuck. Put my arms in that bitch. Yo, you couldn't tell me shit. My second starter jacket, Buffalo Bills, D'Amico Graham, my homie. He got a triple fat goose, a white joint. I knew he wasn't gonna wear that Buffalo Bills joint no more. And I was the littlest in the squad, could nobody else fit it. Pass off. So, yeah. All I had to do was go get me a new hat, and I was dip, yo. You could throw starter jackets in the washing machine, turn it inside out, threw it in the washing machine, straight. But he said, word, my cousins got jig. If you came from a fly family, you was straight. He said, Gully, remember J Hood was 15. He was a kid dealing with a lot of problems in his life. Yeah. Prayers for Buffalo, man. The temperature has increased. I think they probably should be getting back to life over there. I seen a terrible story that a female froze to death in her car. I was like, damn. Before I froze to death in some motherfucking in a car or some shit like that, we gonna see if this gas is really flammable. We gonna see if this shit is flammable. They gonna find me. Something gonna happen because this shit going up. Like, I can't sit in here and freeze to death, man. This shit going up. Whole car. Boom! Something going on over there, man. We need to go see about that. Straight up. He said she choked on exhaust fumes backing up from the snow piling up. Damn! He said car fire. Y'all laughing, man. I got to live. He said, they said that carbon got her. Pretty young lady from North Carolina. Damn. That the carbon killed somebody in a house too. I believe there was a gentleman whose house, the chimney or the way that the exhaust was expelled from his house was clogged with snow. And he got knocked, like it killed him. Damn. Do you think J Hood should even be apologetic after all they did to him? It's been a long time. At this point, I wouldn't apologize. I'm pretty sure that was presented a long time ago. Apologizing isn't gonna change anything. This Jamaican nigga I was locked up with, he said, don't never apologize for shit. He, for real, his name was Rambo. He said, man, that's how you felt at the time? Did you say it? Fuck you apologizing for? That's how the Jamaican niggas is, yo. They unapologetic. He said, no regrets. He said he already did. Well, just move on. Keep on putting out music. He'll be all right. He says, Styles P said he's still taking that little $20,000, $60,000 split 3 ways. He said they dapped it up and said they loved each other. That should be the end of it, and Styles shouldn't feel any type of way with J Hood sharing the story. He said it's okay to change your mind when new facts come across. This ain't no Marvin Gaye. This is called The Scholar and shit. This is on the website. It's a couple colors, I believe. www.therealdribble.com. Do you think J Hood is living decently now? You just seen him on the Mav Hoffa show. He didn't look dusty or nothing like that. He just put out a video with Shaheem. He seems to still be working and able. His dreadlocks look clean. What the fuck? Jamar King, thank you. He said, shouldn't even be responding to J Hood. Styles' video was titled as if he was confronting Mav Hoffa, as if he was upset with Mav Hoffa. He said it was sucker shit, I think. Yeah, that's the word he used. He said it was sucker shit. I'm not calling nobody to clear no interview and shit. I probably went through that situation with Haitian Jack. At some point, Hood needs to decline D-Block questions. I think that's a great approach. Shaheem album 2023 and documentary. Math is the new Wendy Williams show. What you mean by that? Y'all like to say that. I believe that's a title that y'all give someone when they become popping with the, with the media. Y'all like to call black men Wendy Williams. Is that because Wendy was successful, or is that an insult? He said it seems like they punking J Hood. I don't think so. I think most people in this regard sided with J Hood. He did what he did on them DVDs, man. He drugged the chain. That's a long time ago. But him answering questions on the show, I don't think he did anything wrong. Take it up with the show. And they didn't do anything wrong. The fuck. Irv can't decline Ashanti questions, then goof up when he answers. I don't think Styles was fucking with J Hood, but I know for sure Sheik robbed Hood. I respect Mav platform. I like it. He said, Wendy means you are messy. So why are you saying the Mav Hoffa was messy? For asking a D-Block question? I think if J Hood goes on someone's show of any type, he should be prepared for someone to say, what's your relationship with D-Block like today? I see a win for this whole situation if they know how to handle it. It's up right now. He said they will never forget him dragging that chain. He said Math knew exactly where it was going. Do you think he was wrong? Mav doing what he's supposed to do, back-to-back videos. First Styles, then Hood in the same months. Got to let content breathe. Boom, 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 boom. Rufus Jones, I appreciate your super chat. That's all he's known for until he does something else. We're waiting. Hood, establish that legacy, brick by brick. You gonna be mentioned. You were standing next to some giants. You gonna be mentioned. Do your thing. Hood was right. Styles and them don't want nobody rocking with J Hood. They used to run down and threaten DJs working with J Hood after the fallout. Some things you just can't undo. I don't think Math is biased. How the Locks rob Hood? Hood ever pay for studio or press of mixtapes? Why would they want to implement taxes during a time when his mother needed the relief? They gave the record label gave relief money to J Hood's situation. They gave him none. They could have gave him 20. They gave him, he got 60. If he would have took that 60,000 and said, yo, it's 4 of us, we get 15 apiece. Free 15 apiece for the holiday. Well, again, it was for his mother. So I tried to divide it. There's just no way. There's just no positive way of looking at it. They took the money, and to find that out, it's probably a slap in the face, make you want to do something to a nigga and shit. He mad he couldn't get out that Tales from the Hood album. Math on a platform to ask questions. People want to know why be mad at him. Same way Godfather from Mobb Deep. Godfather made a video about me saying that I had a lover in South Jamaica, Queens, and a whole bunch of other shit. He ended up taking that dumb shit down. All because some shit that Sherm the Worm said. I didn't have nothing to do with it. Nigga got mad at me. And I called the nigga and told him. Before I put it out, I said, yo, this nigga just said he pistol whipped you on my platform, fam. He said, what? I said, Sherman Adams. Sherm the Worm, your homeboy from Queensbridge, just did an interview on my platform. He said he put a pistol in your mouth. He got quiet for a couple of minutes. I said, what you want me to do? Go on and put it out, man. Do what you got to do. I was putting it out anyway. I ain't care. As soon as it get put out, this nigga making diss videos about me. So it don't really matter if you ask them. They gonna tell you no. If you in a situation where you have to ask someone about a certain topic, that's probably a hot topic. Go into town, upload it. Upload it. Upload it. J Hood was extra dope. He should write hooks and let others' voice say his hooks. Man. You fucked that up. Do you feel different about D Block now? I don't look at it any different. I believe that most people, probably myself included, will call them D Block more than the Locks. I never really called them the Locks. The Locks, yeah. It was a brief time when they were referred to as the Locks. I think people called them D Block still. He said, nah, it's a conversation off camera. Damned if you do, damn if you don't. It's history. He spoke his piece. We needed to hear his piece. Everybody should be able to share their piece. During the course of that, we will be able to determine what we feel is the truth. So he said, nah, they just robbed, homie. Everybody that got stole from in the music business. Everybody that get robbed turn into a robber. They go and look for somebody to sign and rob. Oh, another thing Hood was mad about. He said that they got deals. He said that they secured deals based on promises of albums from him and Sheik Luch. And he don't feel that he was treated fairly. He felt that his presence was upping the way he said it was, he felt that his presence added value to the Locks' bartering situations with record labels. Something that they was bringing something to the table with him. Like, not only do you get the 3 of us, look what we got here. That's kind of what he was saying. This situation made Cameron look better for putting the whole team out single-handedly, and they couldn't put out a teenager. I'm telling y'all, once Jada and Sheik do an interview on Math Hoffa, everyone's opinion will change. Do you feel like the interview will open doors for J Hood? Probably not. He got to open doors for himself. Most people gonna side with the locks. Most people, this is how these bitch ass niggas work. People who want to be in good faith or on good terms with the locks, they gonna turn their back on J Hood, not work with him, not interview him, not do things with him. You feel me? Because of how it would make certain people look in front of the locks. I don't care and shit. But there's people, I'm pretty sure that J Hood has stories of people who showed their ass to him for no reason at all because of the locks. My man said good music opens doors. I agree with that. Math Hoffa did that interview to bait Jadakiss. Why do we have to bait people? Why do we have to bait people? I went through that with Mano. I baited Mano to get on here. I can't remember what I did to him. Oh, I got on here one day and I said that I believe Snow Billy. I believe everything he's saying about Mano. Mano seemed like he's afraid of Snow Billy. I did that on purpose. I knew this nigga was gonna call me. That nigga called me right away. I shouldn't have to did that. I told him that. I said I shouldn't have to went through all of that to get in touch with you, fam. And Math Hoffa shouldn't have to do anything that someone would consider unprofessional or undermined to get Jadakiss. Why couldn't Jada just come and get on one of the hottest hip-hop platforms that's popping right now? Why not? Why not? I'm quite sure if you were conducting the interview, the questions you would not have caused conflict. You move differently. I interviewed J Hood just the other day, and I interviewed him last year. I knew when I interviewed him last year, we talked about basketball the whole time. I told him before we got on a live stream, so he would remove any defenses that he might have had or reservations. I said, yo, I want to talk to you about basketball. You know what I mean? You fuck with ball? He said, bet. And we got on, we talked about the Lakers and shit like that. This time, I just interviewed him about shit that he got going on now. The new music video with Shaheem, him having 20,000 views on his own channel. I try to leave it at that. I asked him one question about D Block. I said, do you have any problem performing your old shit with them? And he said, you know, he's cool with it now. At a point in time, he felt some type of way. That was my way of giving y'all some J Hood D Block content. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna bark up no tree. I'm not gonna fuck with shit that's gonna make motherfuckers feel some type of way. Not on purpose. I don't know if Math did it on purpose. J Hood had to wait for the new blood. However, we can't disregard the locks. I rock with them both. He said, J Hood need a record. That's it. That's simple. I agree. Hood, put out some crack. Y'all like the video. It's 1,200 people here. Super chatters, I appreciate y'all for coming through. Make sure y'all get to the website, www.therealdribble.com. Get you some crack. Some crack. King Thread, look at that. I don't even know if that's on the site yet. Show off some more shit. When y'all see that crochet, y'all know who started it. The Dribble, www.therealdribble.com. Go over there and shop. Got what you need and shit. My man said, Mano is waiting to catch you. I don't think so. Somebody should leak that Tales from the Hood album. He said it's in the D Block vault. Davion Darnell, you know it. Do you think Shaheem was uncomfortable? I was watching the interview. I was watching Shaheem's posture the whole time. I believe that Shaheem speculated that certain questions were going to come about D Block. I believe that's what he was bracing himself from. He said, you saw his face. Yeah. I believe he knew that that was gonna come. I believe Shaheem probably has a relationship with the Locks, with Jadakiss. I believe he's probably cool with. He is cool with Jadakiss. And I believe when it was going on, he got a little bit uncomfortable. But when they asked Shaheem how he felt about it, Shaheem said, my situation was different because I was never a part of a group. J Hood and the Locks is a group. So he evasively, Shaheem, he did the Heisman. Y'all see him? He said, shot changed and he humbled himself not to jump in the convo. Nah, man, he knew that shit was coming, man. He wasn't. He knew that he had to know that that shit was coming. I believe he knew it was coming. I talked to him on the phone, often, kind of like every few days and shit. I believe he knew that that was coming. You have to. It's a J Hood interview. The fuck. He said Shaheem was definitely uncomfortable because he was there to network. Hood was straight airing out straight. Lachelle, what's up, baby? He said, I just wanted to say hi, Jamil. I hope these brothers work it out. You'll never interview anybody on Locks level. Stick to C-list rappers. I interview Akon. I interview Cormega. I interview Capadonna. You want some more of this resume, nigga? You want some more? I got more. Fuck you think you talking to? This is the dribble. Can't be fucking serious. He tried it, didn't he? Resume. He said, why so many haters? Resume. Resume. Black Rob. Guys who not here no more. Granddaddy IU. He said, dudes being people chats just to hate. Them is niggas. Them is niggas. And I don't feel any type of way about it, man. One thing I know about these phones, that they fell in the hands to everybody. The wise and intelligent as well as the mentally handicapped. You feel me? Because it's drug babies here and motherfuckers angry for no reason at all. Motherfuckers on the brink. They all here and shit. You feel me? And we could tell by the shit that come out y'all mouth. They called Nori weak for not asking Nas the hard questions. Now they trying to call Math Wendy. Can't have that both ways. K Fuller, they can kiss my ass. Royce the 5'9", Planet Asia, Tragedy Gaddafi, Nature. Where you been? Have you been here? Have you been here? Come on, man. He said never get non-ballers attention in the park. All right, you right. Good evening, everybody. Subscribe to the channel. He said, you naming rappers from 25 years ago. That's all I listened to. That's all I listened to. I'm sorry. My playlist is biased. You ain't gonna hear nothing but crack. My channel, it sounds like Mobb Deep Radio. If you listen to Pandora, go listen to Pandora. The shit that you gonna hear on Mobb Deep Radio, you gonna hear goddamn on Gully TV. Believe that. Shout out to the world famous Brucey B. He followed me today. He said, Mac Mall, what do you think of the Pat Porter interview? Pat Porter, get your money, baby. Everybody profited off the death of Richard Porter. You probably didn't get all your paper like you were supposed to because you've been stuck in your feelings. Get your money. I hope you got top dollar from them niggas, from Vlad. Top dollar, baby. God bless you and your family. You got incredible strength. That shit that your uncle did should be spoken more of. It was way more deceitful and rotten than what Alpo did, because you admitted yourself that your brother Richard was a part of the life and accepted everything that came with that. You dig what I'm saying? You should get with Troy Reed and do the Alpo story, baby. Straight up. I think people will tune in for that. I think you should get with Troy Reed and put the finishing touches on the Alpo story and get you some paper out of that, because everybody, and I mean everybody, profited off of your brother's situation. Straight up. I don't feel no type of way about that lady going to Vlad. I know he paid her. Yeah, I know he paid her because the shit that she said, how transparent she was. So, you know, he said Pat Porter looked so uncomfortable on Vlad. It was parts of the interview when she was hurt, really, really hurt. She said she had to ask her uncle, did you kill Donnell? Did you have something to do with it? He admitted it to her. Like, that was some heavy shit over there. He said, Hood showed the world he's still a little boy. I don't think he did anything wrong. Rest in peace, Donnell Porter. That apple's a motherfucker, rotten apple. He's still living, and he on the street. Somebody sent me a picture of his release date. That nigga on the streets. Ain't that a bitch? Ain't that a bitch? That nigga on the streets. He probably old. I'm pretty sure he old. Probably motherfucker don't even notice him and shit. Somebody should break that nigga jaw. He offered some money. He didn't even get it. Piece of shit. She said it was their favorite uncle. Your uncle should be like your second father figure or something like that. Hood did nothing wrong but tell her story. I agree. I don't like that Vlad didn't console her when she was crying. She went there to cry. She went there to cry. She went there to be transparent. He didn't do nothing because he's saying to himself, ooh, I got a good one. She broke down in tears on this motherfucker. That's what he's saying to himself. Whatever money that he gave her, he like, I'm going to get it back for sure now because they going to play that back. Word. I believe J Hood, though. J Hood wasn't disrespectful when he told his truth. He wasn't. So I don't know why all the acrimony came from Styles. But Styles is the fucking spokesman of the Locks. Wouldn't y'all agree that Styles P is the spokesman of the Locks? He is. You know why I say Styles P is the spokesman of the Locks? Because he the one that was on the phone with 50 Cent. So he the one that's probably going to say something to you and shit. He's comfortable playing that role. He's always played that role. The Ghost. He said he is. He's the spokesman of the Locks. Most outspoken. There you go. So that's who's going to fucking say something to you. And he probably knew who was going to say something, because I seen people in the comments saying, I'm surprised it took so long. That interview was up for 9 days. People were saying, I knew that them D-Block niggas was going to say something eventually. So he said, I know Hood Gully. Locks, Jay jerked him. I told Hood he jinxed himself on that skit on God. How do you show up at the family reunion after you kidnapped your nephew? They came to the funeral too. Preacher and dude. Them was some dastardly motherfuckers, yo. Some rotten, evil motherfuckers. People be describing Preacher as a nice guy in the feds. He an old man now. They said you wouldn't even think that he did the shit that he did. They say that about everybody after they all docile and senile and system and broken they motherfucking ass. That's what you get after you stay there for decades at a time. Killers become docile and senile. Remember that. He said, Sheiks, we ain't gonna have none of that. It's his channel, man. I could interview whoever he want, period. People need to stop trying to dictate other people's actions. Period. Anyway, I appreciate y'all for coming through. We did this. This is real fluid and shit. More to come probably within the next 24 hours. Let's see how this affects the D blocks, the Locks. But More commonly known as D Block. I appreciate everybody. It's 1,200 people here. It's only 300 likes. Y'all been lazy the whole time, but where there's a will, there's a way. I'm going to continue to dribble and fight through the screens. Follow me on Instagram at Gully TV1_. Peace.